Hi, this is Demara, and I'm going to be reading to you today the Truth Testament, number 13, channeled from higher beings. But first, I thought I would show you the card that I pulled for us today. This is from the Starseed Oracle, and I call it the Starseed Activation card. And this one is amazing because it is, I remember. I'm just going to put this one down. This is yesterday's. Let's get number. Here it is. And I don't know what number it is because I don't know where you find the numbers on these. But this is the breath of the cosmos, which was the one I was thinking of. This is the one I pulled this morning for our starseed activation. And it says on it, my will to thy will. Micromanaging the universe, which means not micromanaging the universe, moving my will to thy will, and therefore not wondering about how things are going to happen, just that I am intending them to happen and that I'm going to put those things into action that I know are needed. And that's all you need to do actually on a daily basis. But we usually go a long way further forward than that by actually visualizing how it's going to happen. And that's the bit that is the secret to manifesting. Don't ever worry where it's going to come from, when it's going to come, and in what form, because the universe's job is to actually bring it into being, bring it into the physical. And our job is to put all our feelings into what we want and then to go into action ourselves. Things that we know we should do. Sometimes it's like you can have a intention that you're putting forward and there is no action to take. And sometimes there is action that you know immediately that you must take. And then all the other preceding steps come into motion through the universe using the energy of its essence. So interesting for today. Let's go on to Truth Testament number 13. Again, I'm just going to say to you, if you want to let this message resonate in your body, because it's all the words are perfectly put together how the universe wanted to do this and how the higher beings translated it to me. So if you close your eyes and put your attention on my voice, this may be easier for you. We have much to say and much to tell you. It is our way that we allow you time to adapt to the information. Then we can go further with you and not be concerned about overload for you. We have to say that there are many now who are coming forward to receive this information. They may have been ones that had been reluctant to absorb such information and even more reluctant to allow it to affect their standard lives. This is good. It is much more than we had expected. If we were to consider just how far some of you have come, it is good, very good, and it can only get better. We see you as a race that has allowed much to occur that did not need to occur, but we also see you as a race that has accomplished a lot of good and useful devices to see yourselves through to the other side of these events. These devices, of course, are your technological devices, which will serve you well for the coming months. But then you must be able to contact each other in other ways. This is imperative because much of your technology will become useless over the period of Earth changes. Today you see how much of the technology is not able to assist those in different areas of your world when there are disasters. They are working with their hands and their minds. They are listening with their ears, not their phones, to what is going on in the much damaged regions. This is how it is and how it will become. We wish you to rely on your own technology. When we issue warnings at the moment, these can be posted online. But as your time goes on, we will not have this luxury. Forging your own systems of inner communication will be very important. Knowing when someone is in need will be important. So gather together whilst you can and begin to set these inner systems into place. It is not because of wanting you to do this that we ask. It is because this is what is going to be required of you in the coming times ahead. Be aware of where your strengths and weaknesses are so that you can begin to develop the power and intuition where it is required. After the first breakthrough explosive issues with your volcanoes, there will be very little technology in some of the countries affected. This is the time when the more innate types of technology will become very important. When the energetic waves of the old production technology die down, then you will become so aware of the more natural abilities that you have within inside of yourselves. You may have forgotten or never even known of the dangers of these electronically produced devices. All the time the air is being polluted with waves of electronic energies. Then you are not able to read your own waves in their full power. Some of you have become quite adept at reading your own intuitive energies despite these interruptive forces. Just imagine how much your own intuitive powers will come online when you are no longer being dampened down by these electronic ones. So all will not be lost and much will be gained in the sense of becoming who you truly are. It is not that we wish these things upon you, but that they are deemed necessary to clear the pollution of the natural flow and natural abilities. You have become the mutated human race, not one that runs true to design or expectation. You will see just how much magic is available to you as you journey on past the technological stage of your evolution. It is not that there are not uses for these kinds of technological discoveries, but that you have allowed these discoveries to be the only ones that interest you. We wish you to begin to discover more and more of your own human workings, your own human gifts and strengths, which abide always hidden inside of you. When the needs are there, you will stretch your discoveries within so that you can journey on with the rest of your human evolution. Our part in this is to allow you to do what you want to do, but to have our guidance when you reach for that too. We are always going to be here. We are here for you all. We cannot be those that pull the strings, because they are not our strings, but they are yours. There is no one in control of your planet Earth. It is without control, but it is with its own power. You have all been able to tap into this power, but few have done this enough. We are outside the scene, looking in with our faith in the human being. We do not affect you with our faith, but we do affect you when you reach up for us to help you. That is our only influence, and this can be given in many ways. It takes only a thought for the connection to come into being. One thought of us, and we are there. One thought and pull on us towards you in asking us a question or asking for help is our signal of alertness to you. We cannot do more. It is and will always be against universal law and against your own sovereignty as soul beings, soul energy that is within you, always. Can we do more to alert you? Yes, but only on a scale of one person at a time. We cannot alert a whole country of oncoming earth changes, but we can alert one being that is willing to ask us for information. Every minute of every day, the balance of energies upon your planet change in numerous ways, some tiny, some enormous, so timings cannot be exact, but timings can be often estimated. Each being each energy is changing constantly again in small ways and sometimes large ways. And all of this energy within the planet, around the planet, and within each being is changing and evolving. Time is much less a variable than the caliber of energetic forces within you and within your vicinity. To explain this to you is not easy when you are not taught first and foremost that you are indeed energetic beings. So you are much more influenced and guided by the physical changes within you and around you. Now we must ask you to think energetically. Be responsible energetically and act from that finer, higher point of this energy. It is the most important thing we will say. It is the most important thing for you to realize and put into action, day by day, second by second. We rely on you being able to do so. And thank you for listening to that message. And it's really interesting, isn't it, when you hear and it is brought to your attention that all these electronic devices are giving out their own waves of energy, which we know and we ignore, don't we, really, in the main. But that comes in really huge to me. It's like when I channeled that, I remember then that it really sent a wave of like recognizing what and how that was important. But when I read this out loud, it gives me that realization even more. And I'll probably be so much more aware of it. But I am somebody that knows that I cannot sleep with the Wi-Fi actually plugged into the wall. You know, I have to unplug the router so that there is no Wi-Fi waves coming into my house. And my phone is not in my bedroom, and my phone does not receive calls, because here in Mexico, very few people use actual phones on a phone supplier. They use WhatsApp. So that is just a free line off the internet. So that only operates on the Wi-Fi. But this is something that I've realized when people speak to me all the time about not being able to sleep. And my first thing to them is, do you take out your router at night? And they say, no, why? And I'm thinking, why don't people understand that? I mean, I read decades ago about how that interferes with our sleep patterns. And when you're sensitive, and I'm really, really sensitive because I work as a channeler and an intuitive, I work with healing, psychic things, all sorts of things on that level. So it would be really detrimental for me to not only have the router plugged in when I'm in the house during the day, but to have it going at night. And I think so many people are ignorant of this fact. It is out there, but it's not going to be in your mainstream, because the mainstream is just the corporate power, money, money, money. So, yeah, realize that that's one I can really tip you up about. But now to actually realize that all our senses have been dumbed down to a certain extent, because they're all frequency waves, aren't they? And they're not the frequency waves that we're going to be operating on intuitively, but they are going to mingle in there. So actually making us have to be maybe extra sensitive. I think this is why they keep warning us, or not warning us, kind of exciting us, that as these frequencies get higher and higher, there's all sorts of energetic things that we're going to be able to do, and that we're going to see this interplay of energy everywhere. And ever since I first started channeling in 1991, they've been telling me stories of this. And in my first 2 books, there were references to it. And I see that happening because over the last few months, I've seen my own gifts just really expand and really grow, and more new gifts coming in. And I'm actually feeling certain ones of my energy centers that are now kind of crystallized into a totally even state, and they never fluctuate. And I keep thinking, I keep kind of trying it out sometimes where I feel a little bit different and I think, I was a little bit lower energy today. And then I'll key into that sentence. No, it hasn't shifted. It just crystallized into place over the last few months. And that is so good because it means I'm so much stronger in certain areas of my life now, and things just don't touch me in the same way. And yet I have my perception on all levels really lit up. But it's like on the emotional side that I don't get affected. So I can go through decisions and I can make higher decisions on all sorts of subjects. So let's look forward to these amazing times coming up, but also be aware that they may be interfering at the moment with you. And if you do have a job where you're really connected onto those internet waves for long periods of time, take breaks and walk outside, even if it's only because there's a tree there and you can go and lean up against it and receive that reviving natural energy flow that goes through the tree. There's all sorts of things you can do, but we need to be reminded, don't we? And these higher beings are so amazing at reminding us of everything like this. And in order for us to carry on and get this YouTube channel with every one of these truth testaments, I think I'm maybe 17 to go now, something like that, on these old ones that were channeled over the last 12 months. They're not old really at all. They're very fresh and very new for us, but they are ones that I channeled during the last 12 months. And I now have a new set that they're giving me. So in order to get these messages out to everyone, we need everybody to subscribe to the channel so that the algorithm will work, and listen to every video to the end because that affects it too. And also like the videos if they've given you even one thing that's positive, because that really helps others to learn. If I can keep carrying on here, putting all my time into this, not only channeling the fresh ones, but also to be putting all of these up with me speaking them onto video. So thank you very much.